So Donald Trump has been meeting with leaders around the world, and today meeting with Keir Starmer of England, and we have the 3 best clips for you. Let's get right into it. Here's clip number 1.
That is why this is the greatest alliance for prosperity and security I think the world has ever seen. Whenever necessary, we absolutely backed each other up, and that's at the core.
Could you take on Russia by yourselves?
Well,
all right, 1 or 2 more.
Could you take on Russia by yourselves? So Keir Starmer is saying, yeah, this is one of the greatest alliances the world have ever seen, historically speaking. And Trump, always on top of his game. Well, could you take on Russia by yourself? Of course you need this alliance, right? You need to be allied with the United States of America. I like this. It's lighthearted. It's a joke. But also, Trump is taking a leadership position here. He's taking a position of authority. So on to this clip. As Trump was taking questions, he mentioned Barack Obama by name. Check it out.
Welcome. President Obama once said Britain was at the back of the queue for that trade deal. Where are we now? When do you think we're going to see that? And Prime Minister, the BBC has today admitted serious flaws over the recent Gaza coverage, suggestions of payments made to people linked to Hamas. Does the BBC still have your trust? Thank you.
Well, they didn't do well with President Obama. He'd never got a lot of things done, and he didn't get a trade deal done that was of any importance or magnitude. We've had great discussions on trade, and I think we're going to have a deal done rather quickly as it can be done. We're going to have something, I think, rather quickly. We expect to do that. Okay, please.
on the BBC, look, I've been concerned about the programme in question. The Secretary of State had a meeting with the BBC. I think it was yesterday, could have been the day before. Thank you.
Jeff, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Pardon me. Mr. President, do you support Article 5 of the NATO treaty? And are you concerned that it might be triggered if European peacekeeping forces end up in Ukraine?
I support it. I don't think we're going to have any reason for it. I think we're going to have a very successful peace, and I think it's going to be a long-lasting peace. And I think it's going to happen hopefully quickly. If it doesn't happen quickly, it may not happen at all.
So don't miss that statement there. If we don't make a deal quickly, one might not happen. I actually agree with that. I think the advantage is making a deal as quick as possible. The more you let things drag on, the more you're going to run into a whole bunch of different situations. Both sides aren't going to be happy with whatever deal is made, but the reality is it's time to make a deal and to make it very quickly. If you don't, then the United States is going to pull out. We're going to stop funding it. No more weapons. Europe is going to kind of be pressured by us. They're probably not going to fund it, although they might. And if they do, then that's going to cause problems between us and the European countries. It's a big problem. Just get the deal done right away. And I think he has clear thinking there where he says if you don't get it done quickly, you might not get it done. And then, of course, that first mention of Barack Obama saying this guy hasn't done anything right. He really didn't get any good deals done. Nothing for the United States of America. Calling out the BBC. On to the final clip. And this is an interesting one. When Canada is mentioned, check out what Donald Trump does.
You mentioned Canada. I think you're trying to find a divide between us that doesn't exist. We're the closest of nations, and we had very good discussions today, but we didn't discuss Canada.
Thank you. Please.
So this is really interesting because it's touching on relationships between different countries and leaders of different countries, the United States to Canada, United States to England, and now, of course, Trump meeting with Starmer. And how does that all fit in with Canada? And here Starmer is being clear. He's saying, listen, we have a strong relationship. You're trying to put something in where there is nothing. But most interesting of all is Donald Trump stops the questioning. And to me, that speaks of Donald Trump and Starmer probably having some conversation about this situation that's going on between the United States and Canada, and him maybe coming up with some sort of a logical direction forward with this and not really wanting the media to pry or dig into it, probably for deal-making reasons. Donald Trump wants to make a deal with all of these different leaders in all of these different countries. Of course, he wants the United States to make out well with all of these deals, but when the journalists kind of pry into these things can come out too quickly before they're supposed to be coming out. And there may have been some words between these two where Trump was like, okay, we're going to move forward here. I don't want to continue on with the Canada stuff. We're going to be figuring that out amongst ourselves. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe not. What do you think about all this? Any thoughts on any of these clips? Anything else you saw today from Trump and Starmer, them meeting together? I hope to catch you guys on the next one.